Kelly Duth, and I work on the evaluation and research team at CATCA, and I'm just going to make a couple announcements before the session gets started. So the first announcement is we at CATCA want everyone to download the CATCA app for Prevention Day and for Forum. Once you download the app, you're going to need to select the Forum 2019 event. And then in the app, you'll be able to see all kinds of information about Forum, about Prevention Day, about the Gaylord Hotel, and even about the National Harbor area. And then the second announcement is please take a few minutes to evaluate this session after the end of the session. You can do it in the app. Once you click on the session, you'll see that there's a link that says Submit an Evaluation. Once you click that, you can just go directly and tell us what you think of this session. You can also do it on the website if you go to the training grid. We really appreciate your help in evaluating the sessions because it helps us decide which sessions to have next year and maybe which sessions not if you didn't like the session. But I'm sure this session is going to be great. So I'm going to turn it over to the presenters.
Thank you. I hope there is some guarantee on that. Well, good morning and thank you for attending today's presentation titled Marijuana 2019 Science and Non-Science. My name is Charles Rodrigo, and I'll be doing double duties today. I'll be the moderator and a co-presenter for this morning's presentation with Special Agent Patrick Kelly. Let me introduce the presenters. I am a senior chemist toxicologist at Division Workplace Program in the Center for Substance Abuse Prevention. I'm a subject matter expert on illicit drug use as they relate to the mandatory guidelines for federal workplace drug testing programs. My duties include providing scientific and regulatory information to federal agencies and sister departments like the Department of Transportation, Office of National Drug Control Policy, the National Regulatory Commission, Nuclear Regulatory Commission, or the general public with questions concerning workplace drug testing and/or laboratory analytical testing issues. I have over 35 years experience as a toxicologist with 20 years work as a federal employee. I have a Master's of Science degree in Pharmacology Toxicology from Long Island University, School of Pharmacy in Brooklyn, New York, and a Bachelor of Science degree in Toxicology from St. John's University, School of Pharmacy. I'm also a board-certified fellow from the American Board of Forensic Toxicology, and I have authored and co-authored numerous peer-reviewed journal articles in the area of forensic, workplace, and post-mortem toxicology. My co-presenter is Mr. Patrick Kelly. He is the Assistant Special Agent in charge and began his career with DEA in 1999 when he graduated from DEA Basic Agent Training in Quantico, Virginia. Upon graduation, Mr. Kelly was transferred to the DEA San Francisco Field Division. Shortly after the 9/11 terrorist attack on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, Mr. Kelly volunteered for temporary duty as a federal air marshal and flew missions in support of the 2002 Winter Olympics and later on flights to and from Washington, D.C. In late 2002, Mr. Kelly was tasked with operational oversight at the California Domestic Cannabis Eradication Suppression Program. As a California coordinator, he assisted, monitored, and coordinated marijuana enforcement and eradication operations with federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies, and provided training and guidance to international, federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies. Mr. Kelly held this position until the summer of 2008. He was promoted and transferred to the DEA San Diego Field Division. In summer 2014, Mr. Kelly was transferred once again to DEA headquarters, where he served as the Chief of Staff to the DEA Chief of Operations. Currently, Mr. Kelly serves as the Chief of Staff for the DEA Office of Congressional and Public Affairs. Mr. Kelly is responsible for 5 portfolios: Congressional Affairs, Public Affairs, Community Outreach, Internal and External Communications, and Law Enforcement Liaison. Mr. Kelly serves as the Principal Advisor to the DEA Chief of Congressional and Public Affairs on matters pertaining to DEA's daily worldwide operations. Prior to his employment with DEA, Mr. Kelly graduated from George Washington University and was commissioned an officer of the United States Marine Corps. So, these are the two presenters, and I will talk briefly. Again, here's the title of our presentation, and before I have Mr. Kelly first come to the podium, I wanted to give everybody an opportunity to indicate what our objectives are for this presentation. We'll be talking about the history of marijuana movement, the cultivation and trafficking, THC extract labs, so that's tetrahydrocannabinol, the potency of what's seen in the streets. We're going to talk about scheduling and research. We're going to talk about federal and state legality. Then we're going to go in and shift into how does marijuana affect the body. We're going to go and talk about some national use data. Then we're going to talk about commercialization of marijuana. And then my favorite is some of the marijuana myth busters, some thoughts. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Special Agent Patrick Kelly.
Hopefully everybody can hear me with a phone mic on. Good morning. It's not very often as a DEA agent that I get a chance to speak to people publicly, and getting an opportunity to speak to a room full of people as committed and as passionate about prevention as you all are, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a DEA agent. So thank you so much for being here today, and I look forward to sharing some of my experiences with you on over the course of the morning. So I started with DEA in the late 1990s. I came to DEA straight out of the Marine Corps, went to the academy, and about midway through the academy, I get a chance with DEA to explain to them where you think you would be best able to serve, what offices. So I sat down with the counselors at the academy and explained to them that I thought I would be best able to serve DEA in any position on the East Coast. And they looked at me and smiled and said, "Congratulations, you're going to San Francisco." Never mind that I had never been there before. Off I went. I spent the first 10 years of my career in San Francisco. For those of you who watch Netflix at all and the show Narcos, my boss in San Francisco at the time was Javier Pena, the star of the first couple of seasons of Narcos. He promoted me and transferred me down to the border where I worked on the southwest border for the next 6 years, really two capacities. One, as the Tunnel Task Force Commander, helping to coordinate investigations for large-scale trafficking organizations that were constructing tunnels from Tijuana, Mexico, into the United States, these super tunnels that are sometimes 100 feet underground. And then I took over a large task force in San Diego, state and local law enforcement task force, and ultimately transferred back to Washington, D.C. as part of DEA's efforts to broaden my horizons since that's what they told me. Came back to D.C. and was assigned as the Chief of Staff for the Chief of Operations, and now I work in Congressional Affairs. So for the time that I spent in San Francisco, and I think that's really germane to the conversation we're going to have here today, the time that I spent, those 10 years were kind of real pivotal moments in the marijuana movement. And I started out in a general enforcement group working cocaine investigations, actually one of the first wiretap investigations into a mobile phone in 1999, which was like cutting edge law enforcement techniques back then. Nowadays, it's the peanut butter and jelly of law enforcement. It's what we do every single day. I was deployed for a short period of time to fly in support of the 2002 Winter Olympics, and then back and forth in and out of Washington, D.C. When I was returned to DEA, I came back and was assigned to the DEA marijuana enforcement team in San Francisco. And that team was responsible for conducting criminal investigations into marijuana trafficking organizations focused on indoor and outdoor grows. My specialty was working indoor grows. I also had the collateral duty at that time of being the domestic cannabis eradication suppression program coordinator. I learned a lot. The DSEP coordinator in the city of San Francisco for DEA. It was my job to manage all of the marijuana eradication and enforcement efforts, not just for the DEA, but for all of our state and local law enforcement partners across the West Coast of the United States. And I provided them with funding to conduct their operations as well, too. So, how did we get to where we are today? And when I talk to people today, the conversation always starts with Colorado. What's happening in Colorado, right? It's new, it's innovative, it's kind of the cutting edge of the marijuana legalization movement. Who could have possibly predicted what's occurring in Colorado? I'm here to tell you that what is happening today in Colorado, and what is happening today in cities and towns all across the country is nothing new. The marijuana movement, they have a very long-term view on how they are going to legalize marijuana and probably legalize drugs in general. The marijuana movement really started in the 1960s as part of the counterculture movement that was sweeping across the world, primarily focused in one of three areas: London, New York, and San Francisco. We'll talk about San Francisco today. So if you remember, you can think back to the 1960s, this was a time of where the civil rights movement was gaining momentum. There was a lot of resistance to military intervention in Vietnam, a lot of social tensions surrounding things like women's rights, environmentalism, challenging traditional modes of authority, and illicit drug use. So many of the folks that subscribe to this lifestyle and this culture ultimately ended up residing in the city of San Francisco. Many of these folks. San Francisco today still remains a very progressive society, very liberal society, even for the state of California, if that puts it into perspective. Some of the other folks that identify with this counterculture movement moved out of the city of San Francisco in an effort to become one with the environment, live off of the grid, and focus on being good stewards of the earth. They began to migrate north up the coast of California and settled in the northern California counties of Humboldt, Mendocino, Trinity, Shasta, Del Norte County. And these are all areas that have become, that became ground zero for marijuana cultivation in California and in the United States. So this is a very remote area, very rural, mountainous, heavily wooded. There is almost no law enforcement presence in many of these counties. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. And many people still to this day subscribe to that lifestyle, to that counterculture lifestyle, right? You can still see that today in Humboldt County. When many of these folks moved up the California coast and began to settle in these counties, they had neighbors, people that had been, families that had been living in Northern California for generations, since the 1800s, mid-1800s. And those families came to those Northern California counties to work in one of two industries, either the lumber industry or the fishing industry. And for generations, they made their living working in those fields. Well, things started to change in the late 1980s and early 1990s. And what started happening was that the lumber industry and the fishing industry, they both imploded. And so you had a large portion of the workforce in these Northern California counties that were either had been unemployed as a result of these businesses tanking, or had their wages cut and simply couldn't provide for their families. So you had an available workforce, right? So we're going to come back to those people in a minute. Something else was happening as well, too. Take you back down to the city of San Francisco. So in 1991, a gentleman by the name of Dennis Barone put a little-known initiative on the ballot in the city of San Francisco called Prop P. Basically, what Prop P said was that it would be okay, the California Medical Board would deem it appropriate for people to use hemp, marijuana, and cannabis to alleviate any symptoms associated or any pain that they had associated with HIV/AIDS, cancer, glaucoma, chronic pain, or any other issues that they would find that marijuana would provide relief for. It passes with an overwhelming majority of 80% of the popular vote. And very shortly thereafter, Mr. Perone opens up the very first medical marijuana club, not only in the state of California, but in the nation. San Francisco Cannabis Buyers Club was established in 1992 in 1444 Market Street, just south of City Hall in San Francisco. The club operated for a number of years and was ultimately raided by the California Bureau of Narcotics Enforcement in 1996 for the very same reasons that we have problems with all the medical marijuana clubs today in the state of California and throughout this country. One is that it's not about medicine, that there are large quantities of marijuana being sold out of these clubs. The marijuana is resold on the streets. There's a lot of crime associated with that. They sell to minors. And so the Bureau of Narcotics Enforcement raided this club in 1996, and they interviewed Mr. Perone, and Mr. Perone stated to them that he was making about $250,000 a week, now this is 1992, off the sale of marijuana in this club, but because he really believed in the medical marijuana, he was rolling those profits back into the community and into drug activities. He was no more interested in that. This movement has never been about compassion. It's never been about medicine. It has always been about money. In an effort to shore up his authority to continue to run these medical marijuana businesses and expand their empire, in 1996, Dennis Perone and friends put an initiative on the state of California ballot called Prop 250, better known as the Medical Marijuana Initiative. And I'll tell you, I'll accept responsibility for this as a law enforcement officer. There's been a couple of times during the marijuana movement where we missed it, where we didn't see or anticipate what was coming, and we were not in a position to effectively respond, and this is one of those issues. When Prop 215 was first put on the ballot, it did not have a lot of public support in the state of California. It wasn't going to pass. There wasn't enough interest in it. And from a law enforcement standpoint, the law enforcement officers in the state of California thought this was absurd, that it was ridiculous, that nobody was ever going to vote for this. It had no chance of passing, and even if it did pass, it was a violation of federal law. Well, as this Proposition 215 failed to gain traction in the state of California, it did do one thing. It attracted the attention of big business. People in big business began to see the potential profits that could be associated with marijuana legalization. And so, in particular, it attracted the attention of three people. One, George Soros, the billionaire investor. The second person was Peter Lewis, who owns Progressive Insurance Company. And the third being George Zimmer, who owns Men's Warehouse. And they infused a great deal of cash into this public affairs campaign in support of Prop 215, and it began to take off. And they also introduced a very effective messaging campaign as well, too. And that message was, if your mother had cancer, and the only thing that could alleviate her pain and suffering was cannabis, wouldn't you want her to have it? And who in this room is going to say no? I mean, it's a very effective campaign that resonated with a lot of folks in the state of California. Now, as a law enforcement officer, I can tell you that our media campaign, our awareness campaign to combat this message was terrible. It was awful. It was the worst thing that we could have possibly said. And what we said was, hey, federal law trumps state law, and if you cultivate marijuana, we're going to come for you. That did not impact voters in a positive way. Obviously, Prop 215 passes in November of 1996, and we are off to the races. Overnight, there is an explosion in the number of medical marijuana clubs in the city of San Francisco and in Los Angeles in particular. And overnight, there is this booming demand for high-quality, high-grade marijuana to support these clubs. Now let's go back up to these Northern California counties. Remember that workforce that I told you was standing by idly? Remember that culture, that counterculture, those groups of people that went up there with them, they brought that marijuana culture along? It had been kind of simmering for a long period of time. When Prop 215 passes, those Northern California counties become ground zero for marijuana cultivation, and it becomes known as the Emerald Triangle, right? It's a natural fit for them to begin to produce high-quality marijuana because there's absolutely no law enforcement presence whatsoever. Many of the people that live up in these Northern California counties, very rugged people, fiercely independent people, very, very skeptical, and that is an understatement of the federal government and federal law enforcement. And in fact, in many of these counties, the folks that live in these counties do not recognize the authority of the federal government. The only law enforcement entity that they actually recognize is that of the sheriff. So let's talk about Humboldt County for a second. So what happened after the passage of Prop 215 and we saw the marijuana and explosion and cultivation facilities, the numbers of marijuana plants that was occurring in Humboldt County? Humboldt County, if you're not familiar with it, is about the size, huge. It's about the size of the state of Connecticut. So, and maybe in easier terms to understand, it's about a third of the size of the state of Maryland. Maryland has about 6 million residents. Humboldt County has 132,000. So almost no population whatsoever, no industry, no major cities and towns. The one major town in Humboldt County is Eureka. It looks like the town that time forgot. It is forever stuck in 1960s. There are no major road networks in Humboldt County. US Highway 101 is the only road that moves north through that county. It is almost the only paved road in the county. And on any given particular weeknight, you might have 3 or 4 deputies that cover that entire area. I can tell you this, Humboldt County has some big problems as a result of marijuana cultivation. Humboldt County, with 132,000 people per capita, on many years has a murder rate that exceeds that of downtown Oakland, a major metropolitan city, high crime, and big gang problems. Humboldt County leads the state of California per capita in accidental deaths, in suicides, in gun-related violence, and drunken and drug driving deaths. So what did we do as law enforcement officers to respond to that area? It took us a little while to get our house in order and formulate a good defense. And we really did 2 things to combat that problem. One, we put together marijuana enforcement teams in all of the major divisions in California, right? But work on marijuana investigation. And we also dusted off a little known program in the state of California called the CAMP program, the Campaign Against the Marijuana Plant. And the CAMP program was designed to go out and eradicate, on a very small scale, eradicate marijuana from remote public lands throughout the state of California. And so in an effort to respond to this booming marijuana trade, EPA began to use a lot of resources and money, formalized this CAMP program. So EPA didn't have the manpower, but we had the finances. The Bureau of Narcotic Enforcement, who was responsible for the CAMP program, they didn't have the money, but they had the manpower. It was a great symbiotic relationship. And EPA, with some help from the DSET program, we were able to really make this CAMP program much more efficient. What we did was we divided it into 5 regions. We augmented its staffing with the Bureau of Narcotic Enforcement agents, and then each of these regions donated law enforcement officers from all the counties that the region was responsible for, and then we kind of fleshed out each one of these 5 teams with members of the California National Guard. DEA did its part with supplying it with funding to pay all of these guys, and then we provided each one of these teams with its own organic helicopter and then logistical support as well through fuel trucks and things like that. We were very, very efficient at eradicating marijuana throughout the state of California. Very efficient. And we got to the point where we were so efficient that even though our funding was relatively flat over the years that this program was successful, we were able to remove each plant of marijuana in the state of California for less than $1. That's a pretty good return on investment, pretty efficient program. But as we were trying to get our house in order, something else happened as well too, that we were totally unprepared for and didn't really understand the ramifications of. 9/11 happened. And you say, well, what did that have to do with the marijuana industry? Well, prior to 9/11, all of the Mexican drug cartels, they were cultivating marijuana down in Mexico. They were packaging it in Mexico, very bulky product to move, and they were moving it north through the U.S. ports of entry and selling it in the United States. And all of these cartels knew that as they moved their product north across the border, that there would be a specific loss due to interdiction, that U.S. law enforcement interdiction, right? And that was an acceptable loss from the organization. When 9/11 happened, and I'm not making any political statements whatsoever that are germane to the current discussions about border wall funding, and I couldn't care less about that. Post 9/11, we decided as a country that we were going to add security to the Southwest border. $750 million poured into the Southwest border where we augmented fencing, we augmented technology, and we hired more border patrol agents and customs and border patrol agents as well to combat the growing threat from the Southwest border. And so the byproduct of that was that we were able to interdict a lot more of the drugs as they were flowing north across the border. And so for the Mexican drug cartels, it was just simply a business decision. As their loss rates elevated, as the interdiction rates elevated, they simply decided that it didn't make sense from a business standpoint any longer, and they did something that nobody expected. It was kind of a brilliant idea. And the thought process from these drug cartels is, why risk getting our product through the ports of entry and across the border? Why not just cultivate the marijuana in the United States? And post 9/11, what we began to see as a law enforcement community, we thought it was an anomaly. We didn't really understand what we were seeing. What we saw was a tsunami of marijuana cultivation that started at the Southwest border and rolled north through the state of California into Oregon and into Washington. The eradication, the amount of marijuana that was being cultivated in the remote, rural portions of the state of California was absolutely exploding. And we saw this roll through our national parks from the south, Cleveland National Forest, up through San Bernardino National Forest, Angeles, Los Padres, Sequoia, Sierra, Mendocino, Shasta Trinity. And I'll tell you right now, though, despite this new challenge, these 5 camp regional teams that we had, along with the DEA enforcement groups, we did a very good job of trying to keep these organizations in check. And so these are the DCESP statistics over the last number of years. And you can see from 2003, with fairly flat funding through 2017, which is the most recent year that we have statistics for, how many plants were eradicated. The orange line is what was eradicated nationally, and the red line was what was eradicated in the state of California. Now you can see California has traditionally accounted for about 70 to 80% of the national seizure statistics. So where California goes, the rest of the nation goes as well too. You can see at the height of the program, with fairly flat funding in 2009 and 2010, we were eradicating about 8 million plants out of the state of California, and we were never limited by the amount of plants that were in the ground. We were always limited by funding. It cost money to fly helicopters, it cost money to keep boots on the ground and cops in the field. And so when we ran out of money, the eradication efforts stopped. You can see that in 2010, 2011, something happened that changed the playing field dramatically. And our seizure statistics fell off considerably. What happened in 2010? A couple things happened. And I'll just preface this slide by saying, I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter to me in any way, shape, or form. This is really not political. In the state of California, there was a gubernatorial election for the 39th governor. And you had Meg Whitman, who was a Republican candidate backed by the Bureau of Narcotic Enforcement Special Agents Association. She was an HP executive, and she was running against a former governor of the state of California by the name of Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown ultimately wins the election, becomes the 39th governor of the state of California. And you can see on the slide that he carried the vote in the more progressive liberal section, the high population centers in the state of California. So Los Angeles, the San Francisco Bay Area, and all of the Northern California counties that we were talking about, the marijuana cultivation is a big groundswell.